going on.
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, we're talking about the hottest new couple in all of sports and entertainment, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. Or maybe not. Mojo, because, here's the bad news, Mojo. Cardi B has scrubbed Stefon Diggs, the Patriots star wide receiver, completely from her Instagram page. And in 2025, Mojo, I don't know if there is more of a kiss of death for a relationship than that happening. And that's exactly where we are here now. After weeks and weeks of this couple coming to you hot and heavy from all corners of the world, Mojo, whether it was literally the couple in France renting a castle in this romantic weekend getaway to spending time at Stefon Diggs' youth football camp in your home state, Mojo, of Maryland. They were inseparable. They were always together, and it looked like this relationship, while it may have been young, that it was serious. Again, you look at her page now, it tells a very different story, Mojo. All of the many photos that were previously there of her and Stefon Diggs are completely gone. Now, she has not come out and explicitly said that they are done, but you read the tea leaves here, and it ain't looking good for the couple, Mojo.
Babecock, as you very well know, this is the universal indicator of a relationship coming to an end. I'm trying to rack my brain right now to think of any other circumstance where removing all of that content would make sense.
Yeah.
And I got nothing. I can't even come up with an outlandish thought that might make sense here. So I got to think all signs are pointing to this. What happened so quickly? I have no idea. Maybe some of those recent issues that we've talked about came into play. Maybe not. I will say this, and as a very unbiased third party here, it's definitely her fault because Maryland Terrapins are never wrong. So there's that. Man, it was cool seeing her come over to Maryland and do the kids camp. You got to love seeing that. Cardi B has a very busy schedule. So anytime you can take time out of your schedule to come to something like this for the kids, it means a lot. But yeah, I don't know what happened here, Babcock. At least it's not happening during season. He's got a little bit of time to clear his head, figure out next steps. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this was something they both wanted. Who knows if they're going to even be bummed out about this one. But yeah, back to the point. This is the universal indicator of a relationship coming to an end. Yeah.
I mean, in 2025, it may as well be you just come out and literally saying, hey, we split, we're done. I mean, this is how these things happen nowadays in the social media world. Mojo, of course, there was that controversy. I think it was Memorial Day weekend where not only was Stefon on the boat with Cardi B and they had that the pink powder, whatever that might have been, but there was also a lot of people pointing out that he was surrounded by all of these beautiful women who seemed to be vying for his attention, and you could argue that he looked into them. A lot of people looked at that and they said, hey, this is a red flag. And then we saw them together, and again, they were still inseparable. So it didn't seem like Cardi had a problem with it at the time. I will say this. She has had, in the love department at least, she is kicking ass everywhere else, but in the love department, she has had some issues. Of course, she was married to Offset. They've got children together. That ended in a very ugly way, and she moves on. And Stefon Diggs is her first high-profile relationship after splitting from Offset, and obviously now we know what's happened here. Mojo, two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time celebrating America by going shirtless. Both of these guys looking pretty spectacular, too. We're talking about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, Mojo, who, while they weren't together, they were both on the water out there in the sun over the 4th of July weekend, celebrating, having a great time with family and friends. Let's start with the GOAT, Mojo. Let's start with the guy who's got more Super Bowl rings. Of course, we're talking about 47-year-old Tom Brady, Mojo. It's not supposed to happen like this. I think Tom Brady might actually be aging in reverse because you look at the guy's combine photos from many, many years ago, and now you look at him now, Mojo. Again, so there's the combine when Tom Brady was in his early 20s. Again, he is now 47. He's almost 50 years old, Mojo. He looks shredded. I mean, he looks to have no fat on him. He looks great. He's tan. He looks like he is living it up. Doesn't look like he's missing football at all, Mojo. Again, I say celebrating the 4th of July. He was celebrating in Spain, in Ibiza, with his 12-year-old daughter, Vivian. They were on a yacht. They were jumping off of the yacht, Mojo. Nice, big jump there. They're on the tube, having fun on the water and really just having a nice time with the family. And again, I just cannot stress enough, Mojo, how great he looks. Now, let's go from Tom to a guy who is an active player. Now, I would believe that this guy would look great because, again, he is an active professional athlete right now. I'm talking about 29-year-old Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was actually in America. It was in the States with his beautiful wife, Brittany Mahomes. There they are, having some fun in Miami, again, with some friends over the 4th of July weekend. Mojo, not that Pat doesn't look great. I think he does. Tom Brady looks better. I'm shocked. I really am.
Yeah, I'm not shocked, Babcock, because Brady has way more money, but more importantly than that, he's retired. This is what happens when you get retired. You don't have to focus on being athletic. You don't have to focus on performance. You can focus on looking good. You focus on aesthetic. Your entire workout program completely changes. Also, let's not forget how many stakes he has in various companies related to fitness and physique. Body by Brady, pretty much. So right. I'm not surprised he's as shredded. You mentioned the combine photo. I love when I see that meme online. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the side-by-side of the combine photo next to what he looks like now, and it says, proof that you're not ugly, you're just poor. So when you got money, you can invest it into your body and look like that. Of course, you need some dedication and some work ethic to go up with it, and I think Tom Brady has plenty of that as well.
A Dallas Cowboys wide receiver arrested after cops found a 9mm pistol and some marijuana in his vehicle during a speeding stop in Texas. The very latest on the legal woes for Cavante Turpin when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike, Mojo, and Edward. Guys, a two-time Pro Bowler for the Dallas Cowboys, Cavante Turpin, found himself in some hot water over the holiday weekend.
Yeah, the all-pro specialist, the Cowboys return man who scores a billion touchdowns a year on the kickoff return team, was arrested on Saturday night at around 11:50 p.m. In Allen, Texas, after cops say he had weed and a gun in his car. According to an incident report we obtained, Turpin was speeding at around 97 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. And when he was pulled over, cops saw in plain sight a 9mm pistol in the back seat. When they searched his car after that, they say they found weed inside the center console, and thus he was hauled off to jail. He was booked on 2 misdemeanor charges, 1 count of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, and 1 count of unlawful carrying of a weapon. He was released on bond a few hours later, but we've still yet to hear anything from him or the Cowboys on this. But yeah, Turpin in a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're looking at this one, and we've had a lot of traffic stops. A lot of times, it's a DUI, so we don't have that in this one. So that makes this situation a lot better off. I mean, going through these things one by one, speeding 97 miles an hour. Not smart when you're a big-time player, but everybody speeds. I'd be lying if I said I don't speed from time to time. 97 is certainly fast, but he wasn't drinking when he was doing it. So this kind of becomes, like an everyday kind of offense. Some weed in the back. I mean, this could be a problem on a state-by-state level, but a lot of athletes smoke a lot of weed, so court of public opinion, not sure too many people are going to care about this one. The gun in the back seat, well, this guy lives in Texas. I feel like there's a lot of people carrying guns. Maybe he didn't realize that he left it out. Certainly don't want it sitting out in plain sight, of course. So maybe, poor judgment there. Maybe it was an honest mistake. You put these three things together, it's not damning. It's not something that's going to end this guy. There's probably going to be a lot of people, dare I even say the majority of people that are going to see this and really not care so much. They're not going to have like some overwhelmingly negative opinion here. I certainly don't. But still, when you're a pro athlete, you're held to a higher standard. Kids look up to you. You can't be having these things. You got to nip them in the butt. You got to be a little bit better here. I don't see massive penalties coming his way. There probably will be something, but still not a damning thing.
Yeah, look, the reality is it does. If this happens in New York City and you get caught with a gun in your car, you're going to go to jail, period. Look at Plaxico Barris. There's no question about it. The joke is that Texas is the most polite state because, everybody's got a firearm. So I agree with you guys. I don't think this is not going to be the end of his career. Will there be some penalty to pay here? Yeah, there likely will be. Will he be cut? No, he is a really good player. Like Edward said, he's an explosive weapon in the special teams phase of the game. Don't look for him to not be on the Cowboys this upcoming season, but certainly not good and something that he's going to have to deal with, something we will continue to follow. Jake Paul says he wants to become a world champion. Well, now the reigning champ in his own division is willing to step in the ring with the problem child. Zordo Ramirez lays it all out for us when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, it was about a week and a half ago that Jake Paul stepped into that boxing ring and he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. by unanimous decision. It was a pretty thorough beating, Mojo. And after the fight, Jake said, look, I want to fight for a championship. I want a belt. And one of the guys that he called out was Zordo Ramirez, who is, of course, the WBA and WBO champion. Now, Ramirez was the co-main event, so he fought that night, he won, but Jake Paul was not impressed with what he saw from Zordo. He was not very complimentary about his performance after the fight. Well, Zordo, by the way, is 48-1. He's got 30 knockouts. The one guy that he's lost to is undoubtedly one of the most dangerous fighters in the entire world, a guy who beat Canelo Alvarez. He only lost to Dimitri Bivol, Mojo. So that's what Jake says he wants. Not impressed with Zordo. Well, where does Zordo fall in all this? Does he want to fight Jake Paul? Mojo, luckily for us, we had an opportunity to speak with Ramirez this weekend, and that's the exact question we asked him, in addition to, how do you feel about the Jake Paul criticism? Take a look.
I don't care what he say, and I'm a world champion. And I had 2 belts, and that's it. I don't have nothing to say.
Have you talked at all to your management or your promoter? Like, I feel like Oscar would be all for a fight like this.
Yeah, but I mean, we like I said, we're open to fight anyone. And then if you want all the smoke, let's do it. Why not? I will take the fight. Like I say, it's easy money for me.
How does a fight with Jake Paul look? Can he last with you, or do you go in there and show him something that he hasn't seen before? A boxer in their prime.
Well, definitely, he will fight someone in his prime, and I will beat Jake Paul.
Zordo says easy money, and if you're a real legitimate boxer who's 48-1, 30 knockouts of the 48, yeah. That's what you're thinking. This is easy money. I'm looking at all this hype of Jake Paul, and I'm not even impressed by it because I'm looking at the boxing resume at the end of the day. Because against real boxers, Jake Paul is 1-1, right? And against current boxers who aren't retired, he's never won. He's 0-1. And he lost to Tommy Fury. So take out of that what you will. So if I'm Zordo, yeah, bro, I'm taking this fight. No problem, because it's a ton of eyes. It's a lot of money. And it's probably going to be, in his eyes, the easiest fight he is going to have had in how long, right? So, yeah, give me all the smoke. I'll take all the money that comes with it. Easy money. Makes total sense on my side.
Yeah, Mojo. And you know what? I know a lot of people probably listen to stuff like this and say, Jake Paul, fight a guy for an actual real deal WBA, WBO championship. It's possible. It's not crazy. As a matter of fact, just look to us, this conversation we had with former multiple-time world champion Antonio Tarver last week, who actually called the Paul and Chavez Jr. fight. And he said, hey, look, now that Jake is recognized as the 14th ranked WBA cruiserweight fighter, it is very possible that he could get, if not a title shot right away, he could get a matchup with another highly ranked fighter, and then one thing leads to another, and he could actually be fighting for a belt sometime soon. Now, adding a little bit of a wrench into this, though, Mojo, is the report that came down over the weekend. So the WBA chose to rank Jake 14th again after he beat Julio, who, again, was a champion years ago. They have now said they are going to look at, re-examine the fact that they chose to rank Jake Paul because, Mojo, there has been a lot of criticism. That drives me crazy. Rank him or don't rank him, but don't do it and then choose to, because you get a couple of bad tweets, to say, oh, let's rethink this. Podcast host Alex Cooper mercilessly booed at Wrigley Field. The hilarious footage is coming your way next on TMZ Sports.
Buckle up, party people, because the TMZ After Dark Tour has hit Hollywood. Get ready for a 2-hour rager on wheels with the DJ dropping beats as we hit Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard, baby. We see the hottest restaurants, sickest clubs, and stop at banging bars along the way. The festivities kick off every weekend from the Hard Rock Cafe at 7:30 p.m. So head to TMZTour.com to book your tickets for the TMZ After Dark Tour. It's gonna be epic.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field, they famously, every home game, sing a rendition of Take Me Out to the Ballgame. And a lot of times, they have big celebrities who come to the ballpark, and they are the featured performer, we'll call them, Mojo. Well, sometimes these performers do a great job, and, well, sometimes they do a horrible job. And I think over the weekend on Sunday, as the rival St. Louis Cardinals came into town, it was the latter for Alex Cooper, the very famous, very popular podcast host, Mojo, from the Call Her Daddy show. If you listen to podcasts, you're probably familiar with Alex. That's how big her show has become. Well, it was her time to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And the faithful at Wrigley, Mojo, they hated it. Watch this.
All right, Daddy Gang and Cubs fans, are you ready? You've never seen something like this before. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Think they're gonna have her back, Mojo.
That was awful. I was booing her before she even started singing, and then once she did start singing, I didn't even know what to do because I was already booing. I didn't know how to up the ante. That was, I mean, this is just terrible booking, Babcock. What they needed to do is put her in the opposing team's jersey, and then that way we're booing her for a reason, and it's where we need to be. You don't put her in the home team's jersey. What are we thinking? That's just bad management, but that's just something I would come to expect from Chicago sports because they're the worst. Go, Pack, go. I mean, this was a bonehead decision from the start. Nobody wants a social media influencer to come in and lead the game and sing the song and get everybody into gear. This is a legitimate sporting competition. We don't want that crap, Babcock.
You know, Mojo, the thing I would say, the Cubs won 11-0. So as bad as she was, maybe good luck charm? Probably not.
Maybe she just upset everybody so much they went into a blind rage and just started playing with it. You're right. I mean, you can't argue with results.
Mojo, you gotta move over a little bit. Need a little more space in the girl dad club, because before we go here, we've got to send a big congratulations out to that man right there, Tim Tebow, and his beautiful wife, Demi Lee Tebow. You remember, Mojo, a couple months ago, about 9.5 months ago to be exact, we told you that the couple was expecting. Well, the baby is here over the weekend, Mojo. Tim Tebow, the Tebows welcomed their first child, again, an adorable baby girl. We don't yet have the name, but hopefully soon we get that. Bottom line, most importantly, baby is happy, baby's healthy, Mojo.
There we go. Congrats to the Tebow family. Girl dads, brother, represent. Hold it down. I know you played quarterback, but now you got a baby girl. You're going to have to get a little bit more physical and feisty, you know, so be ready for that. I know you're a nice guy, kind of a passive guy. No longer, Tebow. Show us your teeth.
Right, there you go. So that is awesome. Very happy news. Obviously, they are incredibly happy. You can see it written all over their faces. We have got to go, Mojo. We are out of time. We got a big show tomorrow, though. It's gonna be great, Mojo. Bottom line.
That's right, Babcock. Get on B! The best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.